Welcome back to Beards and Brews. This week's review is going to be Dante's Peak, starring James Bond and Sarah Connor. Gentlemen,
That's right.
this was bad.
This was not as good as I remember it, to be honest. Like, I saw this once way back when it first came out, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Volcano. It's little friend that
I
came
knew
out.
it was going to work back in. Unbeknownst to like the listeners or whatever, like you were trying to get me to swap this with Volcano. I was just like, nah, no, I want us to suffer.
I don't think either one of them would be good, but I think this one's probably a little bit worse.
Now, we're talking about how these movies are not good. I will go ahead and say the thing that blew me away with this film is the special effects department. These guys knocked it the fuck out of the park. I was very curious, and I had this discussion with Eric, if they had gotten some sort of visual effects award, but they were beat out. It was a tough year, man. They had Jurassic Park 2, and they had the Titanic that they were up against. So, you know, they got Trump there, but they definitely gave those people a run for their money. Just the fucking lava scenes alone. Wow.
I mean, that was the big reason why I picked it, because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and I think that was the only reason why I did watch it as a kid, because I'm pretty sure I zoned out for an hour, and the last third of the movie is just like fucking special effects extravaganza. It's so wild, and it's just one of those movies where you're like, man, whoever the writers were, just fucking enjoying their fucking booger sugar in the fucking background while the goddamn special effects team are just working their asses off, putting some pure love into this movie. It's just wild how good this stuff looks. What is it, 15 years later? No, 25 years later? Yeah. Oh my god, 25.
Yeah, it does look pretty good. It does.
Now, here's a question that I'm just going to throw out for the listeners and all that stuff. Whenever you guys watch this, if you decide to watch it based on our opinions or just out of curiosity, or just even the lava scene, he drives a truck through a lava field, all right?
There's so many.
Fuck. Did they make that lava? Because as he's driving across it, it's not CGI. The truck is catching on fire.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a Toyota commercial. I give it that.
But this is from director Roger Donaldson from Species and Cocktail fame. So he's the man responsible, in part at least, for giving us Kokomo.
Hey, that chick from Species is fucking smoking.
Oh yeah, Natasha Henstridge or whatever it is. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Didn't she do like the second one too? And opted up for the third one, they got some like generic whatever person.
Yeah. Blonde chick with tits, that's all you really need. But
straight
I mean,
she's back.
So what goes on in this movie?
We start with running with variety, Chandler. That's how this movie starts.
I had this like thing figured out where like this is like a pre-Bond movie, like just before GoldenEye. James Bond had to moonlight as like a volcanologist or whatever, and he winds up getting his like love killed or something like that. And he winds up in some like podunk town in Washington somewhere. He just so happens to run into Sarah Connor after the events of Terminator 2. Her and John Connor just like living it up, selling some coffee, and the town loved her so much they voted her mayor, and life's just fucking great.
I think that's some interesting fan fiction you got there, and it does sound maybe a little bit more interesting than this movie was.
Okay. Now, Chandler, tell me what you think about this idea.
All right.
Take Linda Hamilton, known for her more, dominant physical roles, and we take Pierce Brosnan, known for his more smoldering, sassy roles, and we switch the roles in this.
The only one that was smoldering in this.
But we take him and we switch him. We have the volcanologist now as, Linda Hamilton. She comes to town, this female who's very, hands-on, very aggressive, and you have the coffee store owner that is Pierce Brosnan. I think that would have made a more interesting film.
Like, it took me a while to like think about it, like just until like I realized like Pierce Brosnan would be like a Carrie Ellis kind of character, just that smug British guy who's just like the mayor of this town, trying to run it like a Stepford Wives kind of place. And she comes in, and she's like, "Oh my God, everybody's gonna die." He's like, "Oh, let's not get bogged down by this volcano nonsense," that kind of thing.
By the way, like I know Pierce Brosnan was 007. Like, he has charisma. He is a man with swagger. And he showed none of it in this.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you watching this movie and no other bit in his filmography, you would never think that. Not in a million years. I feel like every person, if there's more than one person in the scene, they're just all fucking awkward. They're just all afraid to be around each other.
Yeah.
He's just like a charisma black hole in this. If he is in a scene, then it just dulls everyone that's around him. I don't really understand what happened there. If he just didn't want to be there, if he just wasn't excited, if he hates the Pacific Northwest, I get it. But I mean, I know you got better in you, Pierce.
That scene where like she's trying to say like, "Oh, it's been a long time since I had a lover," is the exact opposite of that scene in Temple of Doom where Willie was like, "Be gentle."
Dude, I watched that and cringed so fucking hard. It's like riding a bicycle. I sound like fucking Michael Caine though. God damn it.
It's like riding. I don't know why I'm so fucking posh about it. I did it the whole time I was watching the fucking movie.
But just to catch up on what's actually going on, we have this British volcanologist from Vancouver, Washington, who is just about to start his fishing vacation. He ends up coming across some statistics that might be worrisome, so he goes up to this little town to investigate.
And he's on a vacation. His boss calls him back from vacation.
Yep.
Sends him to this place. He goes to the place, immediately finds things wrong. I.e.,
dead squirrels,
dead couple, boiled, like flash boiled alive in a fucking hot spring, and then his boss comes down and goes, "Hey, whoa, I brought you back from fucking vacation. You know what you need to do, boy? You need to take a fucking vacation."
Go do some fishing or something. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like the whatever back and forth between he and his boss are just completely just like everything is like an oxymoron. The only thing that makes the most sense is that his fucking eyebrows look like eagles. That's it.
His boss, all I could think was fucking Norm from Cheers or Charles. Just started laughing.
I kept thinking he was somebody else, like that dude Ernest Borgnine or whatever, but it's not.
Wow.
I kept thinking Rob Reiner, but it's not. But yeah, Linda Hamilton is this mayor of this town of 7,000 people somewhere in, I guess, Washington or Oregon, somewhere in...
Like enough to fill a basketball court at least.
It was a population under 20,000, and they were voted the number 2 best place to live in the U.S. Number 1 being Derry, Maine.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And that was like the whole reason why they didn't want to make a hubbub, because, you know, the whole town's happy just for being a big number 2.
Yeah. And then you get introduced to Linda Hamilton's kids, and they're a fucking mess. And one of them's like a rip-off Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
It's John Connor. He's the savior of humanity. Come on.
John Connor.
He has that same stupid early 90s haircut, too.
Oh.
Every kid had that in the early 90s, although it is 1997 here, so maybe it's a little bit late for that.
Yeah, he's got like the Salvation Army jacket and everything. He's got like the cool little spot where he hides with his buddies and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's like the 12-year-old Jonathan Taylor Thomas or something.
Not bad. The spot where they're hiding, I fucking lost it because she's like, beep, beep, get the fuck out of here. And he comes crawling out, and then the 2 dudes come crawling out behind him. I was like, what the fuck is he doing in there with Bill and Ted?
By the way, before we stop talking shit on the kids, like the little girl, who was like, I want to say 10 or 11, just the best guess. Anybody else think she looks just like the girl from Sleepaway Camp?
What, the one with the dick?
Yeah, the one with the dick, yeah. That one.
Ooh.
Angie?
Yeah, I don't like how close that is, yeah.
Oh, man. So she's like giving a speech, and she knew she had this speech to give, but she shows up late to the speech that she's had literally all day, all week to prepare for, and she shows up, and whenever she does, no one gives a fuck about what she's saying. Like, one of the guys is like, "Free bird!" Just...
Yeah, it's just so ridiculous. Like, this town loves her so much. She's been voted mayor, and they're just like, fucking bitch.
This movie, all right, so he clearly has like that Bill Paxton, instead of a twister, it's a volcano. He knows what's going on.
100%.
Yeah, he's got that.
He even gets more tan later on for no reason.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And then it goes from that twister vibe right into Jaws. And if you don't know what I mean, I'm talking, he goes, this place is in danger. That volcano.
We gotta evacuate. No, do you have any idea what that'll do to property values?
He's like, listen,
Yeah.
the sharks are not a problem. Amity needs the fucking tourists.
Yeah, it's
And
very paint by the numbers.
Yeah.
How they like go about this whole shebang, trying to give the news to the town. You know, they don't want to panic anybody, but there's clearly an issue, and the writers are like, this should build tension, but in reality, it's kind of horseshit.
Yeah.
So he goes up with the mayor to collect some stool samples, or some samples. Sorry, the whole thing's stool. Yeah. Take some samples and, some pH readings. He meets the mayor's mother-in-law. Conveniently enough, we never meet the father of the kids because he's out adventuring or something. He's Indiana Jones.
It's okay. Like, the volcano got him. That's all.
Yeah.
He's a professor and he hates snakes. You're talking about the fucking grandma. This fucking movie and this fucking character. I
thought you were going to say this bitch, because that's what I'm about to say. This bitch.
This
Basically.
bitch.
I mean, she does kind of, I feel like, embody a lot of America right now. Just like, that mountain's not going to hurt anybody. I've been living on this mountain for 55 years, and I'll not change any of my ways.
Chandler, were you not blown the fuck away by the fact that the volcano was erupting? It had already sent down, now this is a little jump ahead, it had sent down a plume of ash that was covering the town. They were evacuating. They were fucking evacuating. And she's like, nah, it's cool. The volcano ain't gonna hurt me. We're old buds.
I think Grandma was suicidal straight up from the beginning.
I mean, at this point, she survived Korea. Why not this?
She used the kids want to make hot nookie line. And I was like, oh, fucking kill her. Kill her now.
I wrote that down, and I'm like, I feel dirty even writing this down, Grandma.
It's fucking gross. But they immediately, Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton's character, they immediately fucking hit it off.
I guess.
Immediately love each other, and it makes no fucking sense because, number one, his first introduction to this lady is, I have to pick up your kids. We have to take your kids to your grandmother's before I can do my job. Not only are we taking them there, but then we're going to take them down to the fucking swimming hole where I'm going to rescue them from being flashboy.
He's been in town for a whole day and a half. He's already stepdad.
Well, listen. Okay, I don't really know what his background is, but she lives in this town, this isolated town of 7,000 people. She knows literally every man in that town and knows that they are not suitable for mating. She sees this guy and is like, I gotta jump on that.
It's really hard to look back after the last father figure had to be melted in iron.
Truth. But he went out with a thumbs up, and that's all that matters.
Single tear. Now I know why he cried.
And so, they got to do a little bit more investigating because he's like, there's something wrong with this mountain. And his boss is like, look, there's something fishy. I'll give you a week. We'll see what happens. And they go up, and you get some fucking really amazing, picturesque views of this mountain. I'm not sure what mountain it is.
It's not the mountain that they show from the city. It's completely fucking different. No, the mountain that they show has like a giant... I think it's like Mount St. Helens or something. They did some really cool like helicopter shots or whatever.
No, it wouldn't have been St. Helens. I think most of this was filmed in Idaho, as far as what I could tell.
Tater Mountain.
But yeah, they go up and they do some science shit. He starts arguing with his boss.
It's so vague, but it's so true when it comes to this movie. It's like, we got a robot. It does science things. They're like, okay, let's go snap to it.
I'm going to look at this rock with my bare eyes. Yep, that looks out of place. Must be a volcano.
A volcano coming.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, Bill Paxton could smell tornadoes. Yeah. And fucking Pierce Brosnan can just, like, diagnose a mountain just looking at a rock.
I said they're both out there like licking rocks and shit.
It's salty.
Yes. They have so many cliche lines. Literally, like the fucking action hero suspense movie tropes are here. So when they're at the top of the mountain, they're like, oh my god, it should be going crazy right now. But it's not. Everything's fine, man. Look at this. It's green across the board. It's quiet. And he goes, yeah, it's quiet.
Too quiet.
And you're like, shut up. Fucking shut up.
Yeah.
I'm going off rope.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, that trope of like, oh, my buddy's gonna get hurt in like a small cataclysm that we said would never happen. That's suspicious.
Like, he's even going after this robot thing that.
Oh yeah, yeah, his name was Terry. Yeah, because we were fucking roasting him the whole time. Like, not
Fucking
only
Terry.
did he get fucked up in the rock thing, but he fucking jumped towards the rock slide that buried him.
This is some of the most ignorant bits, because then they call in a chopper to rescue him, and that fucking chopper comes in so close to them that you can see that Pierce Brosnan gets fucking livid because they are getting pelted with all the fucking loose sediment from the top of that mountain. It is beating the fuck out of those two guys, and you can see him immediately put his head down and just that look of I'm gonna fucking quit. It's just there.
That whole little scene just screams ill-advised. Like, he puts him on that little rope, Pierce ties himself to it too, and then they just like lift off. I'm like, and there's supposed to be like some kind of gurney or some shit.
That's fucking terrifying.
It shows him we're gonna lower a rope, and he literally lowers a rope, and suddenly both of them have safety harnesses, carabiners, all this equipment they need to attach to it, and it's like, where did all this extra gear just come from?
Well, no, the one guy did have like a harness and a carabiner. That's why he was going off rope. He had that. I don't know about Pierce Brosnan, but the other guy had.
I don't know. Like, it didn't even look like he needed the extra help, because that same little slope, it took Terry like 10 minutes to waddle down. Pierce Brosnan just did it in like a split fucking second. Doesn't
Well,
make
yes, James Bond.
It was like step.
It's just one of those things where like everyone was like, man, this is a bad idea, and the director's just like, hey, I made cocktail.
But yeah, they do some science stuff. They got laser beams to test, like, if there's like a bulge in the mountain. They're analyzing the expulsion of gases from the peak or whatever to make sure that there's not sulfur dioxide or whatever. All the tests come back totally cool and totally legal.
But little did they know the mountain was trying to get the bulge on him.
Well, at that moment, the boss is just like, all right, guys, we're out of here. We're leaving tomorrow. Have a good vacation. Deuces.
Now, one thing I don't want to skimp over too quick, we do move to that point super fast, but I don't want to pass up some of the great lines that the Bill Paxton group, from Twister here, gets to say. There is a foreign character, I'm not sure his ethnicity.
I bet he had like a really racist name, like Raj or something. We just whatever.
Probably. I wasn't paying very close attention, and he's like, "This is good coffee. This coffee, it's good." Every line he has in this movie is about coffee and it being good. Good coffee.
Yeah, that guy loves coffee. Like
cappuccino. He says all that, and
he's a quirky guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just so bad. Like.
None of them have good lines. Even the guy from Rush Hour. Like, it's just kind of whatever. Even towards the end when they're, like, out of the city and the mountain fucking explodes, he just turns around and he's like, see you later, Pierce. I forgot his fucking character's name.
His name's Dalton.
Yeah, I don't
Timothy
know
Dalton? Oh, Jesus.
Harry Dalton.
Alright.
Now, here's another question. Chan Man, you brought up the fact that, the guy's like, hey, we're out of here next week.
No, we're out of here tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're out of here tomorrow. This is the last day. They're at a fucking local dive bar. Guy Fieri could be walking in there at any second. All right?
True.
Why in the fuck is the mayor in there?
What else is there to do?
That was a moment that Jess and I were just like, this makes no fucking sense. She's always going around saying how fucking busy she is and how she can't just handle things, but she's spending all her time, spending it at her little coffee shop where she just makes fucking brews for everybody, and 2, in this fucking little ranky bar, looking like she's trying to get some.
Yeah, she's a barista, a mayor, and a cockhound.
I'm trying to figure out how you would organize that on a resume. Like, what comes first?
Period.
In this little rinky-dink town, like, what else is there to do at night? During the day, you go to the coffee shop. After that, I guess you go to work if you've got a job. After that, you go out to the bar and get smashed.
But at the same time, though, there is kind of like that vibe of, you're the mayor. It's not that people don't expect you to do that, to get drunk, have eggplant parmesan on your fucking patio and give 10 minutes of exposition while having wine with Pierce Brosnan. They expect that. They don't expect to see you down at the local dive bar watching your man lose $20 in a game of pool.
Speaking of that, can we just go over how fucking weird they have those like sex eyes at each other or whatever?
Ugh.
Like they just make eye contact and there's just that look of just like, I fucking hate this. I fucking hate being here. But the movie's trying to tell you, like, oh man, they're trying to be cute.
Yeah, they're like, yeah. Here's the thing else too, that kind of made me go, huh? We know that they arrived there via vehicle, and she's like, well, I need to leave.
And he walks her home.
Yeah, and it's not a short walk.
No, like by the time we catch up to them, they're literally across the bridge you have to use to get out of town. Like, will they have like another like 50-mile hike to get back up to the coffee shop?
Yeah, it's a long fucking ways.
Where are they just gonna leave those cars there until tomorrow?
And then what are they gonna walk the fuck back and get them? Uber wasn't around.
Maybe they were just being responsible, a little bit too buzzed to drive. They, I don't know.
Maybe she was just trying to maybe she was trying to find like a really nice place to get a little scandalous. She's like, hey, I know this really nice hot spring up the way.
Flash boiled. Fucking, but they make it back to the house, right? And this is supposed to be romantic. It's supposed to be sensual. And these two have fucking -3 chemistry. It is so awkward and uncomfortable. And for the first time in a film, I was happy when the kid cock-blocked him.
That's pure cock block right there. I mean, good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, well, I mean, good for Pierce because he had to deliver those lines with a fucking gun pointed at him. That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah. Don't worry, baby. It's like a bicycle.
I hear it's like riding a bicycle.
Let's not get bogged down by all this. It's just like a bicycle.
I swear, that's not my bag, baby.
It's just me, Michael Caine. Don't mind it. I'm here to pay for a new pool.
Oh yeah, this was definitely a paycheck. Like, has to be. Like, come on, man. Like, Pierce Brosnan is such a good actor. Like, if anybody's seen Thomas Crown Affair, at least he's fucking phenomenal.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Like it's not even like a mystery. This movie was written by, I don't know, a fucking blind dude or something.
Just scribbles.
Just awesome. Slapping at a keyboard or typewriter.
That's all it says.
Like, I don't think it's that bad. It's not so bad that you can't watch it, but it's not good.
It's almost like they took the disaster, almost Jaws formula, and they just played fucking Mad Libs with it. Instead of Roy Schneider, you got Pierce Brosnan. Instead of what's her name, you have fucking Sarah Connor. Oh, it's not a shark, it's a volcano. Gentlemen, this is classy.
Yeah, not like, oh, dude, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
But,
no, dude, that makes the most sense. That's exactly why the special effects are so good and the rest was just piss poor. That's all the focus was.
Let's put some lava on the screen, bro. You got it.
You got it.
But, the little girl's cock blocking. She wants a drink of water. They get her some water, and it's Duty Brown.
Oh, yeah. That's where we are.
I guess this whole scene was just a setup that, there's another fucking puzzle to the mystery. Oh no, now our water smells like butthole. That's weird, right?
I'd really like to have sex with you tonight, but kind of would rather you take me to the town's water supply.
Oh, it saved us all from an awkward sex scene. Is all it did, because he's like, oh, thank God. He's like, his character has just got in over his head. You know what I mean? It's like V for Vendetta. He's like, I'm supposed to entertain you women, but ma'am, I'm gay. He's just wants nothing to do with it. And he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, thank God, the water's toxic. We gotta go.
Yeah.
So he goes there, and there's sulfur dioxide, enormous amounts of sulfur dioxide in the water, which is exactly what happened at Mount Pinatubo. Earlier, we had parallels with Mount Vesuvius in Italy, Mount St. Helens. There's enough dots connecting that you know what is about to happen.
She's gonna blow, and I don't mean Linda Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
But yeah, this isn't even like a one of those soft Hawaiian eruptions. This is going to be a massive explosion. This is a Plinian eruption. gases and ash and pyroclastic flows. I don't know if you guys watch the Discovery Channel, but I watch it a little bit so I can throw out some of these words.
Yeah, nature, you crazy.
All right, so he wakes his boss up and is like, hey, we got some sulfur dioxide. This shit is nasty. His boss starts looking at some readings or whatever, and he's finally on board. I have him marked down as Boss Paul.
Like, I feel like the movie could have taken an interesting turn if he shows up with a glass of this funky water and he just downs it and he's like, fucking pussy, and just goes back to bed.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Fine to be.
Gotta save them tourist bucks or Amity's gonna go under. Oh, where's the Quint? Why don't they have a guy that's I'll fight this volcano?
He's like an old codger. He just has that old 20s, 30s boxing style.
It's just the grandma, and she's like, but for 30K, I'll find it and I'll plug it. She's up there with a giant cork trying to put it in there.
Good lord.
But they have to finally call that goddamn town meeting, and conveniently, while they're having the town meeting, earthquakes start to happen, and boom goes the Dante mite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like, I don't know when it could happen. It could be next week, next month, next year.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Yeah, they start. They call up to the not grandmother, I guess the grandmother, the mother-in-law's house, and she's like, "Well, you can have this house when they pry it from my cold dead hands," and all this stuff.
And then it sucks her in, rips her skin off, and wears it around.
Boom! There's something walking around in a granny suit.
The whole town goes into mass panic, obviously, because this is an earthquake. Earthquakes associated with volcanoes don't normally have, these big magnitudes, but to destroy those buildings, that would take a 6, 7, 8 on the Richter scale. So the science isn't there, man.
Yeah, it would have been enough to shake that volcano open right then and there.
Oh yeah, for sure. But all these houses are probably built by supplies from their local hardware shop. Support local business.
Yeah. So the volcano starts to blow. We see, billowing smoke and shit. A little bit of ash coming down. It's not too bad now. You've got enough time to evacuate. If everybody evacuates, we'll be okay.
I don't know if they deserved it or not, but I found it kind of hilarious that they all packed into their cars, Mad Max style, start banging each other up, driving towards the interstate, and as soon as they get on the fucking highway, it collapses and they're all gone.
So, Eric, tell me that you were not at the same point I was. Whenever Pierce Brosnan's like, hold on now, we're going to take a shortcut through the woods. I'm Michael Caine again, but it doesn't matter. This man has never lived here. He doesn't know that there's a shortcut. He has no clue. And he fucking commandos this shit down the mountainside blindly, crashing through fucking shrubs and everything. There could have been a tree anywhere. Fucking anywhere.
Well, I'm on the same page you are, but he also has no idea what the fuck that he just started. Because not only does he go in this wild fucking way to cross a river, he has no idea how deep it is. But everyone behind him just yeah, that's a good idea, and does the same fucking thing and gets stuck. And he even has a throwaway line where he's just like, they'll never make it. And they're just fucking drowning behind him.
They'll never make it. They don't have a snorkel truck.
Yeah, he's driving a big truck, like a Dodge Ram or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but a big truck. And meanwhile, there's somebody creeping behind him in a 1985 Crown Vic or something.
It's that station wagon with that nice wood panel veneer on the side.
Just coming at him all slow like fucking Bruce the Shark in Jaws. They're like, we're stuck. And it's like, bump, bump.
So pretty much while all this is going on, they're trying to make their way back to the house to get the kids. The kids are fucking stupid. They are 11 years old and take her truck up the mountain to Grandma's house to try and get Grandma because Grandma didn't listen to them in the first place whenever they said, hey, come down from the fucking mountain.
I kind of get it. They love their grandma, but the fact that John Connor decided to play Captain Fuck Off and drive towards the volcano is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
All right. So there's 6 things going on here that had me just set my pen and my paper down and just look at the screen.
Oh, no.
And I just wrote, what the fuck? Because... For one, they show us a point of view of what these children are seeing, and it's literally zero visibility. he can't really reach the pedals, and he's driving a truck blindly up a mountain. He knows in blind out, fucking white out, gray out conditions, he can't see anything. He knows how to wind up this mountain to make it without, there's not even like a scary, oh no, will they wreck scene, or I got hung up in a thing. Nothing. This kid fucking drives better than the adults did up to the
Drives
mountain.
better than me.
Well, I think of it like this. If the kid couldn't get up the mountain, then Grandma would never have pushed the boat.
I guess.
Thank God she did, though.
I don't know. This movie.
No. Like we're all on the same fucking Dante's boat at this point.
Well,
like it's just whatever.
Well, at this point, we're just pushing through all this nonsense to get to the good 30-minute fun bit. Linda
I'm
Hamilton.
just pushing through this until I get to this beer that I'm about to open because I am hyped for it. Just to let the audience know.
I mean, that beer can open now, or maybe even a week from now. We don't know.
We don't know. Could be at any time.
2 seconds later. Fucking. Pierce Brosnan somehow knows how to get up the mountain in these conditions also. Never been up there. What the fuck ever. He's went up there once, can drive it blind now. And they find the kids, and they're reunited, and it feels so good.
Oh, man. This whole scene is a bunch of bullshit. Like, he pulls up to the place, and we had a scene beforehand where we clearly see the kids and Grandma go back into the house, and I guess have a moment. But they pull up, rush into the house, screaming for them, and they were outside around the house.
What? Why were they outside at all? First of all, I guess.
Kids, come outside and make an ash man.
I don't know.
Like, did I mention the director did Cocktail?
In the middle of this, we get a scene where we have the helicopter pilot that we saw a couple times before come back to town, I guess, try and to try and asterisk help the town. He's offering to haul anybody out of there for $15,000 a head.
Jesus Christ. Well, he immediately eats shit, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because a helicopter pilot should know you can't fly when there's that much ash in the air. The engine sucks up all that ash, and he just immediately Kobe's fuck into the ground.
Oh, no.
On top of that, though, who the fuck was running around with $15K in their pocket? He loads that chopper up like they were all like, yeah, hang on, let me dig deep. $15K.
Do you take credit cards?
My
American Express.
I mean, it's like an IOU, whatever, that oral agreement. Winky face.
But yeah, he fucking crashes. And then we cut back to the fam, and they're like, we're gonna be safe here. The mountains are a friend. And lava literally burns through the backside of the house.
That was the movie, just saying, hey, enough.
Yeah, okay, this is actually one of my big pet peeves. This lava flow, this is a liquid lava flow, comes running down the mountain and just melts through the house. This is a wood cabin. So much liquid lava hits the house so much that it literally melts the house.
Look, lava can melt wood and jet fuel can melt steel beams. That's where we are.
But this is a Plinian eruption. This is the Cascades. This isn't fucking Hawaii. This isn't Sumatra. This is the Cascades. That ash, that lava is full of silica. That's going to be a very slow-moving, very viscous lava. This is a Plinian eruption that I've told you before. And speaking of Plinian eruption, if anybody in the audience is a beer fan, and I say something about Plinian eruptions and I've got a beer to open, might give you an indication about what I'm about to drink. From Russian River Brewing Company, this is a special fella. This is Pliny the Elder, named after one of the gentlemen way back in, 0 BC, whatever, who recorded the Vesuvius eruption. This is also one of the most well-known, most heralded IPAs in world history. True West Coast style out of, somewhere in California, Northern California.
Strutting that West Coast, Best Coast.
Yeah. And according to the bottle, this beer was bottled 8 days ago.
Say what?
Man, this is the second time that I've had it. And it's an event to have Pliny the Elder. So I'm going to make a thing out of this.
If you make a good enough thing out of it, I'll make a thing out of my thing.
Make a thing out of your thing. All right,
Um,
100 IBUs is what it says on the label or on the website, which would make you think that is this super bitter hop bomb, and it is really hoppy. But the way they do it, I don't know what they do. It's super mellow. You can taste the citrus, taste the pine. This is definitely a beer reminiscent of the Cascades. It's fruity, it's citrusy, it's floral. It's not just that there's so much flavor, it's reserved to. It's not something that's going to punch you in the face. You can drink a lot of this. There's no flaws to it. It is a perfect beer.
Is its price tag a bit higher than average IPA or whatever?
It is higher than average, but honestly, for getting a world-class beer, this was an $8 bottle of beer, and I will pay that every day. It's not so much the price to get it, it's just being able to find it, because it's available in so few places. I just happened to luck my way into this, being on the West Coast now, and so I took advantage of it when I could.
it sounds like something you definitely have to take your time with, so certainly no rushing.
Ah. But no, it is, like, that's really all I can say about it. I've had this beer before. It's wonderful, but don't expect it to be just this thing that's going to blow your mind off. It's just that there's no flaws to it. It is a flawless beer. That's all I can say.
Well, hopefully they sponsor so you can have as much as you fucking please.
I'll tell you what is not flawless. Their escape plan in this film.
It's I mean, the escape plan in this movie is basically just an excuse to shove in some cool shit to look at, but it makes no fucking sense.
Yep.
By the way, in the whole, oh, grandma, everybody's here, the dog runs away.
Ugh.
Whatever.
Fuck you, Rover. Doggo. Go die.
I couldn't figure out what they were saying. Was it Fluffy or Scruffy or Rocky or what's the dog's name?
Barky, Ruffy, whatever.
I don't know. They have to leave him behind. He runs away up the mountain, probably into a pool of hot lava. He's gone.
Well, that sure is a hot dog.
So, the plan is, oh no, the volcano erupted, there's lava. Get in a boat and go across the lake. Oh no, the lake is acid.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense because, the lava burned up the house, cut off the truck that they arrived in, so, floor's lava, gotta jump in the lake. And they get in this, really rinky-dink, fishing boat.
For, the size of the boat, I just expected that this was a rowboat or something, but there's a fucking engine on that thing. But
We'll see if that boat also included rows. That means Grandma couldn't have fucking burned half her body up.
yeah, every boat that I've been on, even motorboats, you've got an oar on board.
Yeah, there's a spare, just in case. It's an emergency type thing, like a life vest.
Also, I'm going to talk shit about the science on this again real quick. By
all means.
That is a water lake. That's not a lake of acid. The worst that's going to do is make it acidic water. It's not going to turn it into fucking acid. Oh, the pH is going to drop a couple degrees. It's not going to eat away a fucking human leg.
Yeah, it was immediately beyond alkaline. It was just crazy.
I mean, the reason why she ended up the way she was is because she was just one of those old hippies that protested acid rain. That's all.
Dude, okay, so the number one, the row your boat scene, no.
Yeah, they're trying to be really empathetic with that now.
It was awful. And then Grandma making the sacrifice. That, if the character was better, could have been okay, but stay with me because this is going to blow y'all's mind. I don't know if you would have caught this. She jumps out of the boat, pulls it to the pier, then continues to walk another 50 feet next to the pier without getting onto the pier.
Yeah! She could have just popped up on the pier rather than, walk further in this acid, I guess is what they're calling it.
Well, I mean, let's put it into context. Not only is it stupid, but they were already 10 feet away from the fucking pier before she decided to commit suicide.
Yeah, they could have just, used anything. Put a shoe as a paddle. Because you can do that. You just a little bit of forward momentum will cause that boat to move. It's a frictionless surface.
Everybody put one of their shoes on one of their hands, and we can just paddle it a little bit.
Well, I mean,
You don't
Pierce
need to
already
sacrifice one of your team.
Pierce already wrapped his jacket around his arm. It was paddling that way anyways, and he was just fine. Grandma's in the lake for 4 seconds, and her legs look like a split hot dog.
Like I said, Grandma's suicidal. Her only son doesn't talk to her anymore. She's got to deal with these fucking kids.
She's had enough. That's all it is.
Be your hero, baby. Just jumps out of the boat.
I'm thinking she didn't even die. She just like...
She didn't. They were trying to get her down the hill, and she's like, "Look, I had enough." And Pierce Brosnan's like, "Good bitch, you're heavy." And
yeah, everybody was bawling, and Pierce just like, "I don't want to get bogged down by all this, but we've got to go."
But like, we can see her legs. They're really not that bad. Like, she's probably in pain.
She even makes the remarks like, "Oh, I couldn't possibly go any further." I'm like, "Bitch, you're not even walking."
Yeah. Like, you can survive, except, like, she doesn't want to, I guess.
She does not want to, 100%.
No, so he starts running down the damn mountain, and we get another actual, throwback to some real science. And the volcano, the heat from it has caused the mountaintop ice and all the surrounding snow to melt, which causes a flash flood.
And it's really, really fucking cool. There are a lot of really good special effects, amazing miniatures, explosions, lighting effects. If anyone's familiar with like the eruption of Mount St. Helens and all the shit that area went through, it looks just like the pictures and footage. It's so fucking cool looking.
It really is, especially whenever the National Guard and the Twister team were trying to cross the bridge and the fucking water hits them. That water is really hitting these vehicles, and that's a lot of fucking water. And you can see the real effects that it's turning these Humvees and slamming them into the side of the bridge, and they're trying to fight to keep going. Looks so fucking cool.
Even after the moment when the Humvees turn to like a really awful CGI jumping effect, like the moment we have the dude from Cheers like in his van trying to get out, the weight of the water's pushing the entire bridge away, and you're supposed to feel bad, but the whole time it's like, man, that looks fucking awesome. How did they do that?
This was a caravan of Humvees, and at the end was the van with all the goods in it. And the boss was driving the van. All the Humvees get across the river, across the bridge just fine. The van can't make it, and he's just like trying to like putter his way across this bridge that's getting inundated with this mudslide, and he's just like, I don't know what to do. And everybody's like, get out of the van.
So we can watch you die.
It takes but the scene's like 3 minutes. And for 1 minute of the entire scene, they're like, get out of the van. And he's like, I got it. It's like, get out of the van. He's like, I got it. It's like, get out of the van. He's like, I guess. Oh, too late now. Yeah. And then you get that fucking Wilhelm scream.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I'm glad we all picked up on that because I fucking died. Well, he did too, but I died laughing.
Yeah, he just gets washed away in the mudslide, and his whole team just like watches him go. Like, well,
it's so fucking unsympathetic. He's like, bloop, and they're like, all right, we better get out of here.
I wonder who's getting his job.
No. And this is my big moment. Pierce Brosnan is somehow a fucking volcanologist, and he can also do hot wiring of vehicles. So he hot wires a truck. They jump in the truck. Oh no, the lava flow has blocked the road, and this lava looks like real fucking lava. And I was like, man, they did a good job with that. That's probably like a miniature or something. And then Pierce Brosnan's like, it'd be really cool if we drove through it.
And this, you can tell, is completely different lava from the lava that ran through Grandma's house. This is viscous. This is quick drying, quick solidifying lava.
I mean, like the kids and Sarah Connor are just like, you can't just drive over lava. And he was just like, it'd be a lot hotter if I did.
Don't just watch.
And he does. And this is where my mind was blown, because, I'm thinking that they took some time and made this cool visual effect that's going to have no interaction whatsoever. No, he drives this fucking truck into it, and as you watch the truck's wheels, I rewound this twice just to make sure. As you watch the truck's wheels go onto this, the rubber starts to melt immediately. You can see that the top layer, the crusted, cooler layer of the lava, supports the tires for just a moment and then crumbles under the weight. And the minute that these tires punch through that and actually go into the whatever they're using as lava, fire sprouts out. And it's not like some bullshit fire. This is like, this stuff is too hot and it's catching fire. It's not, you know, like a gasoline flamethrower looking shit. This is real fucking heat-induced fire, and it blew my mind that they created that effect. It is wonderful.
It's one of those effects where you're just like not only enamored, but like in your mind you try to figure it out. Like, would they use like lights? Did they use like glow-in-the-dark paints or something to get that cool fluorescent look that looks? It's probably not exactly like lava, but like on camera it looks fucking flawless.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible, to the point to where as the tire melts down to the rim, you believe it.
Dude, the fucking rim even got red hot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but on the bullshit side of things, there's no way he would have been able to drive that at all across that lava. That would have been too hot, too viscous. The tires would have melted immediately, not just like once he got across. Like,
it would have swollen and exploded.
Yeah. There's no way he's making across that to get to his randomly rescued dog or their.
Fuck that dog.
Like, I know we're in a mood to inject logic into this. Like, the tires aside, the fuel tank alone, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But regardless, that scene, for me, highlight of the film. I was blown away by that effect.
But the thing is, it doesn't quite stop there. Like, the truck, what's left of it, like, meanders into town, is completely covered in ash, and then we get it. The big fucking explosion.
Yes,
and
sir.
It's fantastic.
Well,
it's
hold on.
wonderful.
He goes into this, I guess the office where all the computers are is still there.
Yeah.
They, for whatever reason, the crew that was leaving did not take their computers. And also the power, despite this town being fucking ablaze and covered in ash, they're still getting power to this room for him to look at the computer and say, oh, she's about to blow soon.
Well, the thing is, the big guy forgot to take that little system with him because he died.
But no, they were on their way out. They were supposed to go the next day. They should have had everything fucking...
Everything should have been packed and ready to roll.
But conveniently enough, everything's still left in this room for him to know she's about to blow, and also I'm going to take this thing... it's like this sensor from NASA named ELF. I don't really know what it does other than sense, like...
It's NASA stuff. We don't have to worry about it.
It's location or whatever. Geolocation.
I don't know. For us. I mean, with a plot device that strong, we don't even have to be an audience at this point.
Yeah, it said NASA. Shut up.
He even has that like bullshit moment where like he picks up the ELF system, looks at the computer, and it has like a little animation of the volcano about to explode. It's like, yeah, it's right.
And they're trying to drive out of town despite this. All right, the volcano finally explodes. Big poompa. There's a like a shock wave that comes along with this pyroclastic flow. Everyone in the vicinity should be dead. Realistically, everybody's dead.
Well, I mean, as an audience member, I feel like I should be dead because up to this point, the movie's kind of whatever. But we do get a fucking wildly fantastic effect. Again, it's a miniature. It's fucking cool. But as the pyroclastic flow's like rushing through the town, every single building turns to fucking dust. It's crazy.
Yeah, but luckily they just barely get outside this pyroclastic flow by driving into the mine that the fucking little kid was in way earlier in the movie. They just barely make it.
Yeah,
of course.
But, dude, the truck was the exact same width as the mine. And he drives it in a panic with no wheels, red hot rims, everything's wrong, drives it right in there, zero issues. The power steering still worked. Ugh.
So you're saying there's like an alternate cut somewhere where the truck just plows into a fucking wall and in slow motion, and then you get In the Arms of an Angel playing as the credits roll, right?
As the lava just creeps over the fucking truck.
That would be a better ending. I'm signing up for that.
Dude, yeah, this ending was one of the most fucking ass things I've ever seen.
It takes so fucking long to get there too. Like, we get it. They survived.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo. You know?
So they drive into this little cubby hole in the mine, and old Pierce Brosnan's like, "Oh, I forgot my the elf transmitter back in the truck. I gotta go get it." And the kid's like, "You'll never find your way. Let me come with you." And he's like, "No, don't do that."
How? Like, they just came through that way.
It's one shaft.
Yeah.
So he goes back, and then there's another earthquake or whatever, and rocks fall down on him while he's in the truck.
Oh my god, rocks fall on the man 3 times.
Yeah.
I was like, enough. I get it.
Yeah.
Bones out Brosnan, Mr. Compound Fracture.
Don't we have enough rocks falling on me? I directed cocktail.
Yeah.
And that's just what works.
But he does have just enough reach to get to turn on the elf transmitter, because that's what he went back for. All right, it's on.
And then boom, smash cut to them fucking being rescued by the fire department. And they're like, "Oh, we got Pierce Brosnan out. It's a great day."
Well,
we get the other people out? Oh, we got him out too. Yay.
Like the one guy, before they rescue him, he goes into the office and is like, "Hey, how long's that light been flashing?" "I don't know, like a day or two."
It's dead. They've passed on. What are they gonna have to eat in that little fucking kid's clubhouse? Like a can of beans?
Yeah, and water. Like, I guess they had some kind of snacks in his clubhouse, but like, there are so many reasons that all 3 of them should be dead.
Yeah. Just off the cuff, there's no way that 3 human beings can survive through 2 or 3 days on Slim Jims and porno mags. It's over. It's like...
Like, water alone, they need water. I don't care about food. Like, you can survive without food, but they need water, and I don't know how much water's down there. Pierce Brosnan's not getting any, and he's been stuck in that truck for 2 days.
You know, it doesn't matter. None of this.
Yeah. I was just like...
a broken arm and a smooshed head.
The bone was sticking out, you know, it's ventilation, he's fine.
I don't know, but it turns out everybody's okay. They dig Pierce Brosnan out. They dig the kids out. The dog's even there. Everybody's happy. It's a happy ending despite the city being completely annihilated.
Yeah, obliterated. And then, like, the camera pans up and it's a blue fucking sky and the volcano just like, yep, I'm done. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Literally everyone in that town is now homeless, but it's a happy ending because those 3 people survived.
No. Like 10 people are homeless. Everybody else is dead.
No,
like,
he's
straight up.
No, the one guy, I don't remember. One guy said that
everybody out.
Yeah, everybody got out.
Well, no, everybody left. I'm talking about like the poor saps who, one, probably got caught in a pyroclastic flow, but also the people who got on the highway and immediately got murdered.
Oh yeah, they died.
Yeah, like who did they get out? Like 30 people, whatever. Enough to start up like a Dante's Peak gift shop or some shit.
Yes, in memoriam. Like fucking get a Kickstarter going for him.
God.
For $14, you can buy this volcanic rock.
Pumice stone with a piece of granny in it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That looks like Harold.
All right, despite all the shit that we've talked about this, I still think this is an entertaining movie. You can throw science the fuck out the window, but it's an entertaining movie, and if it's on TV, like, I'm gonna watch it probably.
The special effects blew my mind. You know, they got beat by Titanic. I've already said it. I understand, but if you're a special effects person, it's worth that just to see that. The romance is atrocious. The acting from
really
every supporting character
almost disgusting.
is fucking awful. Linda Hamilton, I love this woman as an actress, but she's not dainty enough for the role, or at least in the sense that when I look at her, she's not dainty, and in this she's just a helpless little thing, and I can't see her that way. But other than that, you know, the writing and some of the other shit's kind of nonsense. I don't know. I'm with Chandler. If it was on TV, I'd probably have it in the background while I fiddled on my phone.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the same boat too, and I don't need Grandma to push me anywhere. Like, it's the movie. The movie's very swift, so even I don't even know how long it is, but like to even get to like the cool special effects shot, like you're not even like you don't have to hunker down to watch it to enjoy it. It's fine. It's just fine, you know. Like even with all the bad stuff, it kind of does make up with entertainment in the last third of the movie because of all the cool shit. I guess it's just like any other disaster movie, just like slag through the fucking people bit, get to the fucking Bernie bit. There we go.
If you like cool shit and you don't care about science shit, it's probably okay to watch.
100%.
And there you have it, Dante's Peak from 1995, starring Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton.
1997.
That was 95, wasn't it?
That was 97.
Oh yeah, 97, because GoldenEye came out in 95. That's what's in my head. Like, man, I'd rather be watching GoldenEye.
And it lost out to Titanic, which came out in 97.
Yeah, that's right. The whole time I was thinking, like, man, how the fuck did that happen? Also, Steely Dan's playing in the background. I'm a lot of confused right now. I'm gonna leave all that shit in there. Anyways, if you have any strong opinions about the movie or the podcast by itself, please leave it in the comment sections below.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure to hit that little bell icon too, so you know next time we've got another one of these brewing.
Check us out on all of our different social media accounts. We got that Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and a Reddit. If you don't want to check those things out, we'll have that administrator who's constantly pyroclastically flowing out new content for you guys. Just ooze some of that over you.
Oh, let's not get bogged down by this volcano nonsense.